Hi guys, Martin here with another roundup of all the latest racing game news straight from the Team VVV website. This of course is our first news roundup of the year, and first of all I just wanted to thank everyone who's been watching my news series, visiting the site, and all your kind comments and support. It really means a lot. Just as Alan's always busy on the channel, there's lots of content to come on the site too. I've been preparing a sort of feature roadmap for 2014 outlining all the various racing games we have to look forward to, as well as some roundups of some of the racing game achievements from last year as well. Watch this space for that. After that, I think this month is probably going to be a bit of a catch-up month on some of the big name titles released towards the end of last year, in amongst all the other daily racing game news of course. I've been getting to grips with Need for Speed Rivals, so expect a review on that soon. Likewise, James has been busy reviewing Gran Turismo 6, and there's also some WRC4 Vita content I've been meaning to get round to soon as well. So lots to look forward to before we get stuck into some of this year's racing titles on all the new consoles and high-spec PC hardware. In fact, if we were to have a New Year's resolution, it would be to cover more PC titles. So that's exactly what we've done, starting with Race Room Experience. Here we see Alan charging through a terrifying hill climb on his new swanky setup. Watching this I couldn't help but marvel at the raw sense of speed only made possible by a high-spec PC. It really adds to the immersion, which I'm sure will only improve once his triple screen setup is done. We'll have much more PC coverage to come soon too, including some extensive iRacing sessions, which you'll be able to view on the channel as well as the website. Now, one title I've been paying particular attention to recently is of course Bugbear's next car game. We've got another hands-on gameplay video available to view right now on the site with me raving about its physics engine and revolutionary car damage. This was enough to persuade Alan to take it for a spin himself, as you can see in this initial test run. No doubt he'll have some of his feedback on that in his commentary soon, but you can also look forward to some of my written hands-on impressions as well. Following the early access pre-alpha build, Next Car Game has gained some significant traction. Bugbear revealed that over Christmas the pre-order sales doubled in just 1 week, smashing their original Kickstarter funding target, which was originally cancelled after it was becoming abundantly clear it was never going to succeed. It's a testament really to just how effective Steam's early access programs can be for indie developers, and it's great to see it get so much deserved attention. If you want to get in on the action yourself, there's also a free version of the technology demo available to download now, which you can find in the link below. Polyphony on the other hand haven't been quite as fortunate when it comes to sales figures. As we know, Gran Turismo 6 has been something of a slow starter, failing to achieve the mass sales of its predecessor. It seems then that too many people are still playing GT5. Sony's answer then is to permanently disable its online functionality. So from May 20th this year you'll no longer be able to play Gran Turismo 5 online. Sorry. Turn 10 also have reason to gloat at the moment, as it's been revealed that Forza 5 has surpassed over 1 million online players. Although don't forget that multiple gamer tags can be used on the same console. Still, it's quite a feat when you consider that only 2 to 3 million Xbox One consoles have been sold, and 1 million of those people are playing Forza Motorsport 5. In contrast to all this cheer, we had the not so good news that the co-founders of Criterion Games have left the studio to form their own company. It's sad really to see what was once a major studio be completely downsized. Before this it was recently reduced to a team of just 16, while the rest of the studio was migrated to EA Ghost to work on Need for Speed for the foreseeable future. Criterion meanwhile are supposedly developing a new unannounced project that apparently isn't a racing game. Black 2 hopefully? We can hope. But sadly this means we probably won't be seeing a new Burnout game anytime soon. Onto the PC sim racing world, and Assetto Corsa will be resuming its fortnightly content updates from January 17th. No doubt there'll be another selection of shiny new cars to play with, but what makes this update potentially more interesting is the possibility of AI racing opponents being added to keep you company. You can see this in action courtesy of some crudely recorded videos from one of the developers in the link below. Now, one new car they did announce, however, is the very fetching LaFerrari, which of course made its highly publicised game debut in Forza 5. Except of course you were charged for the privilege, as it was part of a premium DLC package. The developers of Assetto Corsa, however, are a slightly more charitable bunch, as this prancing horse will be available free of charge for the final game, as a thank you to the community. While we're on the subject of new cars, rFactor 2's promised Honda Civic touring car is also now available to download. It always takes quite some time for content to trickle out for rFactor 2, but it's always worth the wait, and it's nice to see a contemporary racing car for a change. This is actually the Civic NGTC car from the British Touring Car Championship, which Gordon Shedden of course drove to victory a couple of years ago. Then we have Project Cars. Slightly mad certainly like to flaunt the visuals, but who can blame them? These community galleries never look anything less than photogenic. This latest one shows off some of the new cars that are added to the latest build, and as ever, the obscene level of detail applied to the cars and environments is absolutely astounding. Excuse me while I pick my jaw from the floor. Remember too that these aren't even official screenshots from the developers, they're all genuine gameplay shots captured by the community. There's no Photoshop trickery here whatsoever, it's all in-game. Is it just me now wishing the year away for this to finally arrive? If all these racing sims are a little too serious for you however, there's always Carmageddon. Yes, the controversial pedestrian splattering sim is making a belated comeback with Carmageddon Reincarnation. It's been a long time in coming really. The Kickstarter achieved its funding a couple of years ago now, but we've seen very little of it since then, which is becoming a bit concerning. It's apparently still on track for an early access release this year, but now we finally get to see some gameplay footage. Unfortunately it is actually just a developer video showing some of the suspension technology, but still it at least shows the physics won't be quite as primitive as before. Of course what we really want to see demonstrated is the vehicle damage modelling and pedestrian ragdoll physics when you mow them down, but hopefully it won't be too long to wait now. Finally, Sega is probably conscious of the fact that Mario 8 is aiming at Sonic's slipstream, which is probably why they've released Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed onto mobiles to capitalise on the pudgy plumber's absence. It looks like a remarkably faithful port whilst adding a new character from Shenmue. Best of all though, it's only 69p on the Google Play Store at the moment in the UK. That's less than the price of a McDonald's cheeseburger. That's it for now though, but I'll be back next time for another roundup. Links to all the stories mentioned in this video can be found below. As always, you can visit us at teamvvv.com for all the latest racing game news, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.